What up, peeps? Tony Baker here, back with another movie review. This time I'm reviewing The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. This is the third installment in the Conjuring franchise. Well, it's funny how The Conjuring created a whole little horror universe, really. They got spin-offs, you know what I'm saying? The Conjuring spun off Annabelle and The Nun. And I think they got I've been reading about them doing The Crooked Man from The Conjuring 2. The Conjuring released in 2013. The sequel came out in 2016, and now we get the third installment. And and all throughout that time, Annabelle came out. Then there was a sequel to Annabelle, and The Nun, which had tremendous potential. They dropped the ball on The Nun tough. Because when The Nun first appeared in The Conjuring 2, I was like, oh shit, this is the scariest shit this side of the Mississippi. On this side of the Mississippi, that was the scariest shit to me. I don't know about the other side of the Mississippi, but on this side, I was like, yo. And then the trailer for The Nun was the only trailer in the history of trailers that actually made me jump in the theater. It actually made me physically jump. And I'm not trying to sit here and act like I'm tough guy McGirt. But I don't really physically jump a lot. Internally, I jump all the time. But the physical pop-up, I popped up physically when I saw the trailer for The Nun. So I was like, oh, this is going to be the scariest movie of all time. It was trash. But The Conjuring, though, The Conjuring in 2013 really impressed me, and so did the sequel. So the third one, I'm like, let's get it going. Now here's what makes the Conjuring movies so appealing to me. I care about the characters involved. That's the key. That's the key to any scary movie. When you don't care about any of the characters, you can just be like, whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? You're not even really tripping. Usually they make one, maybe two characters that you really care about in a traditional horror movie, pretty much. You can kind of weed out who's gonna survive at the end and this, that, and the fourth. But what The Conjuring does that's so dope is that you care about the main characters, the Warrens, who are based on real people. So you care about this husband and wife duo that are out here solving paranormal cases, essentially. Helping families out when they need them. Like the first Conjuring, they went to help this family that was being haunted by these, spirits in their home, in the home they just moved into. And then the mom got possessed. You just care about the kids, the parents. You care about the Warrens. So it's like you're invested in everything that's going on. And that based on the true story element kind of rings true. So you just like, yo, I'm involved. And then when the sequel happened and they went to visit that family in the UK, it was the same thing. You cared about that family, and we're still attached to the Warrens, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. You care about them. You like them as a couple, as a family. You care about their daughter and what's going on. So now you're fully invested in all the characters. And that's the key that makes these movies that much more enjoyable for me. And besides all that, they're really creepy. Like they really set a good tone. They were set in the 70s, the first two. It's something extra creepy about the 70s to me. Just the way everything looked, the aesthetic, even down to the font they use in the movie title. When the Conjuring movie title rolls up like this, and it'd be like it'd be creepy. It be creepy. So after the success of the first two Conjurings and the success of the spin-offs, all the spin-offs were box office successes, you gotta make a third one. You gotta make a third one, so let's keep it going. Now the third one is set in 1981, and the Warrens are trying to help this family out because their little boy, their son, was possessed by a demon or a spirit. And this is based on a true story. Wait, hold on. What's their names? The Glatzel family. And a little kid by the name of David Glatzel was possessed. So they're pretty much, going in there to rid this little boy of, the demon possession. So, you know, you got to get special clearance. If you're going to do an exorcism, you got to get special clearance. They got to make sure, the church got to make sure y'all ain't frauds out here. So they got to go through all these steps to get a real priest to come in and do the exorcism. So they send them in. And during this exorcism, you know, the little boy's sister's boyfriend, who's really attached to the kid, he takes on the spirit that was possessing the little boy. And so, in doing that, he became possessed and he ended up killing somebody. And so now they're out to prove that, you know, he can't go to jail. He can't get the death penalty because he had demonic possession. And the courts are like, man, what you talking about? So this movie is pretty much them trying to gather up the evidence to prove that this young man was possessed by a demon when he murdered somebody. And that's a tough sell. That's a tough sell. Every court, because everybody gonna be trying to claim that if they could. No, I was possessed by a demon. No, a demon came in. That's why I shot everybody. You know, multiple nights at the club. You know, the music was pumping. I pulled out the pistol. You know what I'm saying? The dude owed me money, but the demon possessed me, and I shot him in the hips. It was demon possession in the club. Demon possession in the club. Demon possession in the club. So that's what this third installment is pretty much about. That's why they call it The Devil Made Me Do It, because the devil literally made this young man do it. But they got to prove that without a shadow of a doubt. So that's essentially what this third installment is about. This one is not as scary as the other two. I'll say that right out the gate. It didn't have as many scary moments as the first two. And since they kind of focused on this young man, it was probably like 18, 19 years old, we kind of lose that. Even though we had the family there initially in the beginning with the little boy, we kind of lose that whole family element with the Warrens having a family of their own. We kind of lose that little element as well. But it's still like, you know, the Warrens, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, I really like these two. I really care about these characters. I like them. I like the way they dress, the way they communicate with others, the way they work with people. They like they're just super likable as characters. So I'm just like, I'm always all in. And so anywhere these characters go, I'm gonna pretty much follow them. Even though it's not as many scares as the first two, it was still entertaining. I was engaged. Had some creepy moments, don't get me wrong. Like there's a character introduced in this one that's mad creepy. But I would say it's not as many super scary moments as the other two Conjuring movies. Because the other two, in the Conjuring 2, you had the nun, you had the crooked man, you had the old man in the chair. It was a whole lot going on in that second one. And then the first one, you had the creepy things going around in the house. And then the mom gets possessed at the end. It was just like, yo, man, when's this going to stop for this family? But here, it was kind of more streamlined. We had a clear villain, which I don't want to get into. I'm gonna get into it in the recap, but I don't want to spoil anything right now. So it was good though. I enjoyed it. I'm giving it let's see. I'm gonna give it 3.5 saxophones out of 5. I could give it a 4 saxophones out of 5. Like a strong, hard, rock hard 3.5 saxophones out of 5. Flaccid 4 saxophones out of 5. Still worth watching. If you're a fan of the first two, you should definitely watch this one. It's not like it's, you know, not worth watching or it's not good. It's just the third strongest out of the 3. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's number 3 on all fronts. So check it out though, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm about to get into the complete recap. So if you haven't seen it, if you don't want to be spoiled, stop the video now. Now let's get to the recap of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Man, this movie opens up fast and furious, man. They give you a little update. It's 1981. This little kid in the Glassell family is possessed by a demon, you know what I'm saying? And the Warrens are there to try to help this kid out, you know what I'm saying? Show up, the house all tore up. We open up to the tore up house. This kid is sweaty, you know what I'm saying? And then they're like, you know, they finally got enough proof and evidence to where, yo, we put in for the exorcism. You got approved for the exorcism. You got to get approved for the exorcism like it's like buying a house or something. Like you got approved for the exorcism. Oh, we did? We got approved? You got to get approved for the exorcism in these streets. So, boom, get approved for the exorcism. They coming in hot, you know what I'm saying? They waiting for the priest to arrive. Meanwhile, when they put the little boy to bed, the boyfriend of the sister is like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Just hang in there, kid. You know, just giving them words of encouragement. You brave. Even though you scared, you still going through this. You brave, little dog. You brave. And he's like, yo, when you gonna ask my sister to marry you? You know what I'm saying? He said, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's just focus on your exorcism, man. You got your glasses on, but you got a demon inside you, man. Don't worry about our marriage, because you might not even see the marriage. If you keep tripping, we're going to have to put you down. You know what I'm saying? So the priest shows up to the house, and this is a shout out to the Exorcist movie poster. Like, he gets out the cab, and then he looks at the house. It was that Exorcist movie poster. We all remember that iconic image of the priest standing there looking at the house he got to go in here and do work in. So all that's going on. So they go in there, the kid wilds out, flipping, bending his body, you know what I'm saying, tripping, straight slapping people, plates, hitting the priest upside the head. Yo, he got hit with a plate upside the temple crease. It's chaos in the kitchen, dining room table. They got the kid going. It's chaos, wind blowing, breath hot, foaming at the mouth. You know how he bending his body, man, twisting and bending and turning, and you know, the full yoga pose. And then it just got so heavy. He hopped on. What's his name? What's Patrick Wilson? He hopped on Ed Warren's chest, tried to stop his heart. He's like, oh, so Ed is having a heart attack. And then, you know, the boyfriend of the sister grabs the little boy. Yo, man, get out of him and just come at me, man. Take me, bro. Take me. And then the demon was like, all right, don't promise me a good time. And then the demon was like, yeah, I'm in there now. He went inside the other dude. And so the kid was cool. And that's love, man. That's a good boyfriend, ladies. If your boyfriend is willing to put his life on the line for your little brother, that's a keeper right there. That's a goddamn keeper. He took on a demon for your little brother. That's deep love right there. That's you better give up the panties that night. Well, not really that night, because he got a demon inside him. But man, come on. Panties need to be on the table soon after that. Anyway, so we got that going on. So the demon's inside him. The Warrens think it's all good, but they in the hospital because Ed had a heart attack because the demon hopped on his chest and stopped his heart. So you got all that going on. They at the hospital. And then they get a call that the boyfriend, whose name is Arnie, based on real characters, by the way, Arnie's kind of tripping out. You know, he hasn't been the same since, you know, the exorcism, of course, because he took on the demon. And so all this is going on. Turns out, he flips out, kills one of his co-workers at the kennel because he's seeing images of just like, you know, his first image is he sees like this weird lady in all black just crept up on him. He's panicking. He's freaking out. He's just seeing stuff. So now, and you know, when you're seeing stuff and hallucinations, that's when you get pale and sweaty. So he pale and sweaty. He's just weird shit going on. He's just seeing stuff in windows and like, you know, he dropping the chainsaw on accident because he's seeing somebody looking at him from the window, and all this is going on. Meanwhile, during the exorcism, what's her name? Ann Warren? Lorraine Warren. She was seeing like weird imagery of like, you know, a person doing like a ritual at a table while they're in mid-exorcism battle. She was just seeing these images. It was like she was seeing somebody do this ritual from their POV. So she's having these images. And you know, Lorraine is gifted. She can see things that not everybody can see. So she's seeing all of this during the exorcism. So meanwhile, but Lorraine is at the hospital with Ed because his heart stopped. But Ed is doing fine. He's pulling it together. He's coming through. And then they find out that, you know, the spirit got an Arnie. And so Arnie's flipping out. He's freaking out. He's seeing these images. And the dude he works with, he's drunk and he's trying to get him drunk. So it's just a lot going on. But he's seeing him as an enraged demon. So he starts coming towards him. And he ends up stabbing this dude to death 22 times. So stabs the dude to death. They call the Warrens. And it's like, yo, something's not right. He said, you know, the devil made him do it pretty much. And so the Warrens are like, oh snap, he done took on the demon. So, you know, so now they got to convince the courts that, you know, once they visited Arnie in jail, they was like, yo, they come to the attorney like, he was possessed by a demon. Can we fight this in court? Because they looking at the death penalty for this kid, because he stabbed dude 22 times. So now they like, yo, if y'all could get enough evidence, then we can fight this in court. But it's going to be an uphill battle up in this mug. Because when they brought it up in court at the hearing, they was just like, what? All right. And they also had to convince the attorney that the stuff they deal with is real out here. So they were like, yo, we can take you by a crib, show you what we got, and introduce you to this doll named Annabelle. And you already know, if you're familiar with The Conjuring, they got a whole bunch of stuff at that crib. All kind of creepy shit up in there. And then they cut to the scene where they in court, because the attorney was like, I done seen some wild shit. So we got all that going on. So it's a race against the clock to try to save this kid. And this is a good kid, man. He was willing to put his life and soul on the line for this little boy. And so now they got to piece together, all right, where did the possession start? Where did it come from? Where were the beginnings? When did this little boy first get possessed? When they moved into the house in Bloomington, he went into this room. There was a waterbed in the room. He got on the waterbed, and when he was laying on the waterbed, you could see an image of a demon inside the waterbed looking at the kid. The demon grabs the kid, grabbing him up tough, through the waterbed. He's freaking out, of course, and you know, the parents ain't gonna believe him. Big hole in the waterbed, whatever. So they go to the house, and they looking around the house and be like, all right, so this is where he said it first happened. They look where the waterbed was. They moved the carpet up, and they was like, yo, this is not waterbed damage. This is not water damage. This is something else. So they go underneath the house. Lorraine goes down there in her little nice... Lorraine be dressing, man. Lorraine Warren be dressing. She be wearing like dope belts and like little like brooches right here. Collars be popped, man. Her shirts be lavish. Anyway, she goes underneath the house and she finds a witch's totem underneath the spot where the waterbed was. So somebody cursed this family. They put the device for the curse right there. It's like a device. It's like it's like made of animal bones and kind of sticks, and it's a curse device. They slid that underneath the house like a bomb. So then they get wind of this old priest that used to be, you know, about this life. He had the whole scoop, and he's like, but he's not a priest no more, so you might not want to holler at him, but he out the game. And you know, whenever somebody's out the game and then they go to ask some questions or go reel them in or whatever, they always doing manual labor when they show up. They either enclosed in the house and hiding, or they doing manual labor. So they pull up on this old priest, he an old man, he in his garden doing stuff. He turn around, what y'all want from me? You know what I'm saying? Just that whole... What you want from me? I'm out the game. We're like, yo, we got this going on. We got this ritual tool here. You know what I'm saying? What's the good? He's like, hey, come with me down in the basement. You know what I'm saying? And Lorraine's like, man, I don't want to go down there. There's something not right about down there. And so they go down there. He giving them the full scoop. Finds out about this girl that was possessed and ended up killing another girl, but then the other girl went missing. So they was just like, this sounds familiar right here, because he was giving them the scoop on some kind of girl that was doing stuff like this. And so meanwhile, you know what I'm saying, the kid in jail is like freaking out, trying to hold it all together. He thought he was all good, but he's not. You know, he's sweating, he's scared, he's seeing stuff. All this is going down. So Lorraine and them end up going to this other, I think they went to Massachusetts to see what was going on with that murder. And the cop is a skeptic. He's like, yo, man, you know, we got the girl murdered here. We couldn't find the other girl. The girl's been missing. We've been looking all over the place. I brought y'all down here hoping that y'all could help me. But the Warrens came like hoping you could help us to get the scoop. Because, you know, they're trying to figure everything out. And they're also trying to figure out why, you know, this little curse bomb was placed in this particular house right here. And he's basically like, man, prove to me that you got these special abilities you claim you got. He brought out 3 knives and was like, all right, which one of these knives is the murder weapon? I got the real murder weapon here, and I got, another 2 knives that's just here, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, bow, you know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, shit. Now they driving to the location. And she really about that life, man. She's like, yo, you passed the turn right there, you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, shit. He didn't even know. So they go out there, they go to the scene of the crime. Lorraine can see how it all went down. The girl was stabbed up tough. And then she found out, because she ran to the edge and almost got pulled down, but she found out that the girl, after she killed her friend, she ran and probably fell off the cliff. And so like she was like, yo, because Lorraine almost fell, you know, and Ed was chasing her, but his heart is bad. You know, you need the heart medication now. And then she almost fell off the cliff. He saves her, pulls her up, and she's like, yo, the dead girl's down there at the bottom of the ocean. And the cop was like, what? All right, man, we done canvassed this already. Boom, turns out there was a body down there. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, we looked two other times. They wasn't going to look a third time, man. Thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? You piecing it together. You got me looking good out here in the cop streets. You know what I'm saying? So Ed and Lorraine, you know, instead of waiting for the next day when they can get, you know, I guess, clearance to go further into the investigation to see if they can get more info, they go to the morgue. They just break into the morgue where they're keeping the body, and in that morgue she touches the dead body of the girl they just found, just so she can get a clear vision as to what's going on. And so she's in there, she touches the dead body. Dead body looks wet and disgusting and just ugh, and she had to squeeze it tight. You know how you be shy to hold somebody's hand at church when you gotta take your neighbor's hand and pray, and everybody's hand just don't be ready. Sometimes you get the moist hand. Sometimes you get that moist hand. That's what she had, the moist hand to hold. A moist, dead hand. How many of y'all could hold a dead hand? How many of y'all could really just hold the dead hand, a dead, wet hand? How many of y'all could do that? Lorraine did it. Lorraine did it. She holding the dead hand, and now she's connected. She's connected. She can see the devil worshiper doing her thing, trying to make the kid that's in jail kill himself. Lorraine can see this because she's connected. You know, she done tapped in. It's like Kylo Ren and what's her name? Kylo Ren and Rey in the Star Wars joint. They got the connection. Except this time it's devil worship going on. So got the connection. I can see what you're doing. So Lorraine's peeping game. You know what I'm saying? And this devil worshiper is about to make the kid that's in prison kill himself, so then that kid's soul can go to the demon. You know what I'm saying? They're doing all this. Lorraine busts that up. She's like, hey, what are you doing? She done knocked over all the supplies and stuff, all the stuff the devil worshiper had set up. She done knocked it over because somebody yelled out in her brain. And she just like, yo, what the hell was that? So that saved the kid's life in prison for now. So now, but the devil worshiper now has wind of Lorraine in her head, because she asked Lorraine in the connection, mid the Force Star Wars connection on the Conjuring tip, how are you doing this? How are you in my head? How are you doing this? I can see you, you can see me, I can see what you're seeing, and you can see me. How are we connected? But now I see you, and Lorraine's like, oh snap, it's a double connection. It's a double connection out here. So now, you know, the game has changed now. The game has changed. Now, the devil worshiper knows who they are, or at least who she is. Meanwhile, while she holding on to the dead hand, the lights go out, and Ed goes to turn the light back on. It's on one of those timer lights where you do the little knob and then it clicks, you know what I'm saying? And once it clicked to 0, the lights went back out. So he goes over there to turn the light back on. When he turns the light back on, he sees the sheet fall from one of the dead body slabs. So he looks up, and there's a full dead body standing there, butt-ass naked, big wide. This is a big wide corpse. Big wide. Look like this corpse could tackle a whole football team at once. So Ed looking at the big wide dead body. Big wide turned slowly, looked at him, stepping close, like stepping forward. Big wide dead body, stepping forward. And Ed is like, oh shit, big wide. Big wide. I'm Ed. How you doing, Big Wide? Big Wide looks over at Lorraine. He's like, yeah, I'm about to tackle your wife. And Ed is like, oh, no, you ain't. So they both rush towards Lorraine. Ed got the upper hand because he's a little light on his feet. He got a bad heart now, but he's light on his feet. Boom. Grabs Lorraine just in time. Dead body just falls, hits his head on the slab. Dead body. So now, the devil worshiper can tap into and go into and use and control dead bodies at the morgue to take Lorraine out. So this devil worshiper got skills. All right? So you got all that going on. They done figured out, you know, the devil worshiper knows who they are. They tapped in. They had the force going. So now they get back to the crib. And then when they getting back to the crib, they trying to piece together everything. Old girl called and was like, yo, man, you said the devil was gone out of my boyfriend. He just tried to kill himself in prison. What's going on? She's like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? They trying to feed his soul to the demon. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to piece all that together. Going down, it's going down. It's hot. It's hot in here. They back at the crib. You know what I'm saying? They trying to figure everything out. Ed passes out. Ed passes out, has a full dream. He back at the crib. He sees the door busted open. He's like, yo, Lorraine, where you at? Turns out he sees Big Wide in there. Big Wide is in the crib. Big Wide from Massachusetts is in the crib now. So Ed going to war with him. He got the cross in his hand, the crucifix. He's hitting him with the Bible quotes like, yeah, and the breeze is coming. You know, Big Wide is, you know, fading back. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The breeze, it's always a breeze. Once you hit up the Bible quotes and you got the cross going and it's a demon, the breeze is coming. The breeze, the devil breeze coming. And then he about to stab Big Wide. The assistant grabs his hand. Turns out he was about to stab Lorraine. And that's what this demon does to you. It possesses you and makes you see things that aren't really there. So now, like when the kid stabbed the dude 22 times, he saw that regular guy as like this demon or whatever. So, you know, so it's like, yo, she got in me. How was she able to get inside of me? How was she able to do that? So they looking around the edge, looking around the house frantically. How is she able to get inside of us like this, like she did with the little boy? So he looking around. They had received some flowers from somebody. And the flowers died fast. Within that flower pot was another curse bomb. She done sent them a curse bomb to the crib, had the curse bomb in the crib with them. You slippery devil worshiping bastard. And this devil worship lady looked creepy as hell, man. Skinny, thin, long, just, woo, she looked creepy as hell. The Conjuring know how to introduce some creepy looking individuals. And she is creepy, y'all. So anyway, they piece all that together, you know what I'm saying? So they figure out, they're still trying to figure out the source of where this devil worshiper is. They know that she's alive, that she's a real person, so they just got to figure out where she lives, where she's doing this, where her shop is set up at. So they piecing all that together, you know what I'm saying? And Lorraine goes back out there to talk to the priest, and so goes back out there to talk to the priest. Ed and the assistant, they trying to piece it all together geographically. They're like, yo, man, so how? You know what I'm saying? Why all the way in Massachusetts and then here in Bloomington, man, what's going on? And they be like, but she went to school out this way. Oh, she did go to school out this way. She did. Put the thumbtack right here. So it's like a triangle, close triangle and a thumbtack. So you're like, yo, she says she heard the train tracks, and then they pull out the plans, you know what I'm saying? They know the river layout and the next to the waterworks and then the trail. Oh, we looking at the railways. Only 2 of these railways can make the noise at this particular time. So boom, it's got to be like right here. And he was like, yo, the priest. So he drives out there to go save Lorraine. Mind you, he leaves his heart medication. Lorraine walking into a trap. You know, she going out there with this dude. This dude like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That demon worshiper you looking for, that's my daughter, man. Crazy thing, man. It's crazy, man. You be raising kids, turns out your daughter's a devil worshiping, soul controlling, you know. But hey, you know, you try to raise the kids as best you can. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge me out here. So she finds this out, and then he ends up hiding Lorraine because the devil girl comes back to the crib. She comes back to the crib. She gets there, she kills her father, cuts his throat. He had the pistol out and everything. Lorraine is hiding in this secret passageway. In that secret passageway is the whole devil worship mobile command unit that she was doing all her spells from. So she in there, she trying to tip the table over, but that table is fortified. Meanwhile, she creeping up. Ed is driving out there to try to save Lorraine. It's going down. Man, the clock, it's going down. And mind you, while all this is going on, the kid in jail is getting possessed again. She still wants to deliver his soul to the demon she made the curse bombs with, okay? So all that's going on. So people at the jail, though, they seeing this kid wild out. He's handcuffed to the bed. The priest is trying to, and the priest over there at the jail, he was soft. He was timid as hell, man. Get up in there with your nuts. Get in there with your nuts and deliver these biblical passages, man. You can't be soft in the exorcism. He was shy, timid, soft, ballless. You know what I'm saying? But he flipping out, twisting, bending, grabbing shards of glass, floating. So people that work at the jail, they like, yo, this kid really possessed by the devil out here, man. Look at this shit here. But they trying to prevent the suicide because this is a good kid at the end of the day. Meanwhile, Ed is trying to get over there and save Lorraine. He arrives, he gets in the house. You know, Lorraine is down there, you know, fighting for her life. And then when Ed gets down there, the devil worshiper lady blows some dust in his face, possesses him real quick. So now he wilding out with the sledgehammer trying to kill Lorraine because he's just hallucinating. He's possessed real quick. He's just trying to wilding out with the sledgehammer. She's like, yo, Ed, man, remember me, man, remember me. She hitting him with the cocoa. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Ed, remember we was kids, we had our first date under the little gondolier or the candelabra, whatever they call that thing in the back. Remember me. And he was just like wilding out with the sledgehammer. And then he remembered it. He's like, yo, Lorraine. And then he uses a sledgehammer, breaks the little mobile command unit of deviltry, breaks that in half. So the kid at the prison is now saved. So now that the kid in prison is now saved, she no longer has a soul to give to the demon. So she like, oh, y'all done foiled my plan. She pull out her little blade. She got the blade out. And Ed is like, yo, since we foiled your little plans, you ain't got a soul to give to your demons. So guess what? That demon's here to collect. She turns around, that demon folded and broke her all up in half and twisted her every which way but loose. Rubik's Cube, this woman. Just body was all folded and bended over. It was like, damn, gave her the dish rag. So she died horribly. And they was like, I forgot my medication. Luckily, Lorraine had one pill for him in her little brooch locket thing. Ed and Lorraine are just the power couple, man. Fantastic couple. And that's why we love these movies, man. That's why they're good movies. Ed and Lorraine are the backbone of this good series. I want an Ed and Lorraine TV show. I want more cases. I want to go on more adventures with them. And that's how it ended. Oh, it turns out, so Arnie in jail, he just gets off with a manslaughter charge because they saw what went down at the jail. You know what I'm saying? They was like, all right, he really was possessed. Got off on a manslaughter charge. In real life, him and the girl, they still together to this day. You goddamn right they still together because he sacrificed his soul for her little brother. They better be together. You understand me? Shit, you ain't breaking up with me after I put my soul at risk for your sibling. Oh, we staying together. Anyway, that's my recap of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments section below. Do you like the series? Do you like all three? Do you like the spinoffs? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as usual, we out here.